The good Lord took my part and played it himself while I was in the service. Because I was put in service because of spike work. And the good Lord didn't like that. He didn't like it. I'll tell you what happened to me. I was working in Asheville, North Carolina, at a Union station there. In World War II, I was notified by the U.S. government, that's the United States Employment Service, USES, uses, that I needed to get a job after I was called to the service. That I would need to get a job that was useful to the war emphasis. That was USES, uses, they called it. I was married and had a wife and two children, Betty and Clyde Jr. And they told me I have to get a job that was useful to the war effort. So I went and quit my job that I was on. Went and got a job with my stepdaddy. He was a miner in the coal mines in Kentucky. I went and got myself a job in Kentucky and worked there for a year or longer in the coal mines. And John L. Lewis was the head of the coal mines at that time. So John L. went to the government and asked them for 500 men coal to work in coal mines. They gave them to him, and then John L. went back to the mines and fired 250 men. Uncle Sam said, now, if that's the way he does business, we'll take every man he's got. And I come up in that draft. And I had to go to the government. And when they got that news, they said, now, if that's the way that man does business, we'll take every man he's got. And then right after behind that, I was drafted, sure enough. And so when I was drafted, I went in the service. And Uncle Sam didn't like that because that was spite work. And when I got out of the service, the government had took every man he had, practically, put him on a draft of their own, and said, if that's the way he does business, we'll take every man he's got. So I come up in the draft. Had to go in the service. When I went in the service, the government, of course, did not like the way he did it. So that they drafted me and into the service, and I went into the service for 4 years. I mean for a year or duration. That means a year in the service or until the war was over. So then when I went in there, Uncle Sam would not let me go overseas at all. Every time I turned around, there was something happening that was keeping me out of the draft. And I found out that the government didn't like it. They didn't like that. So I had to make the draft. I was in the service for uh, 2 years after duration, after the war was over.
Mm-hmm.
I came out of the service in 1947. And so when I come out of the service, I went into the service, went into training and everything. After I took my training, then Uncle Sam took over, took my life over completely, and I had to make that 2 years and 6 months. I got out of the service, and I was in the service. Done took my training and everything. Do you know, for those 2 years, I was missing drafts. And every time it would come up, Uncle Sam would not let me go over. One time I was out on leave on the weekend. I was out on leave and come home, and my wife took sick, and I had to go in. When I went back to the base, wasn't nobody there. The base was empty. I had to go to the commandant's office. The commandant said, "All right, we'll find you another company. We'll find you another company." He said, "Stay here tomorrow, and we'll just put you in another company when they come in." Next day, the company came in, and sure enough, I went and joined the other company. And the next weekend, I had a weekend pass, and I came out of the service. And that time when I came out, my boy, Clyde Jr., was sick. Well, I was late going back, and when I went back, the base was empty again. I come home and went back. When I came home the third time I came home, I took down sick with a strep throat. And I was 9 days in the hospital here in Baltimore. And when I went back that time, the whole base was empty. Everybody was gone. So I went to the commandant's office, and the commandant said, "Clyde," said, "you were supposed to be in Iwo Jima." I was supposed to be where? Iwo Jima over in the South Pacific.
Mm.
Well, I missed it. I missed the draft. When I went back, the base was completely empty. And there I had nowhere to go, had nothing to do, another thing. The commandant said to me, "Well, you just stay here until tomorrow. There'll be another company coming in here, and you can join that company." And do you know, I joined the next company come in. And I stayed in the service until my time for duration. Duration was the war was over, and I was getting home, coming home for good. And do you know that Uncle Sam took it over, would not let me go on not one of those drafts, not one of them. because he didn't like me being used for spite work. Didn't like me being used just for spite work. Because the war was not a personal thing, but it's supposed to have been used for that kind of purpose no way to begin with. And so I'm just saying that the government.
Yeah, hold on. You keep scooting over.
Son?
He keeps scooting over on
When
his
they push the
bed.
button so the nurse lady.
Yeah, well, they didn't like that personal trick. You
It's the
know,
wire across his stomach.
hiring 500 men and turn around and fire 250 of them. The government was right. They didn't have no right to do men that way, like that. Using
He wants
men
it
as a
across
person-
his stomach.
as a
He put it
personal
across his
trap.
stomach.
They had no right to do
Get his
that.
napkin.
Right.
Put his napkin back.
And so I'll use it up.
You didn't do it right.
You have to open it up.
You gotta open Granddad napkin.
See? You turn it back and
Now you see if I spill
Look at
it
him now.
on the chair, it won't wet my body. Won't
Right.
Spill it on
They
myself.
coming.
He keeps scooting over.
She coming.
Granddad, what you biting? You don't have no
Ain't no
nails.
fingernail.
You know, fingernails there.
No.
No,
That's finger.
Why he keep scooting over? Why he keep scooting over?
You and Granddad got the same. Show Granddad your fingers. Y'all got the same fingernails.
You bite
She
yours
bite
too?
hers too. Okay, she said, wait a minute.
Now, what I'm going to do,
You look chocolate.
Stop scooting.
I'm going to get my,
Out of your ear. Medea coming.
what did you do with that? What did you do with that?
Andy.
No, that wash pan.
She put it back in the kitchen.
I had all the stuff in it.
Yeah, it's still in the kitchen.
Well, I won't do it, and I won't bother it now.
You want a bath?
No, I want to get my fingernail file out of there.
I didn't see it in there.
Didn't see it.
I don't think so. Hold on, heck yeah. Hold on.
Look at it and see if you see it. Down in there. Should be in there.
If not, we'll go buy you one.
No, you don't have to buy another one.